Alright, this is the DuB, Bassmaster Kato on YouTube, and I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about frogs. Alright, this is the rod I fish frogs with. It's a Shimano Chronarch with a 50-pound Subix Performance braid and a Spro frog on it right now. And it's sitting on a carrot stick. I love the carrot sticks. Alright, this is the kind of line I use with them. Subix Performance braid. It's a 50-pound, 12-pound mono diameter, and it's very smooth. It throws like a rocket. Can't get no better than that. This is tackle box, and keep on my hollow body frogs in the top drawer up here. You can see all the different colors and stuff I got. First one I'm going to tell you about is these white ones. I fish these white ones in the evening, in the late evening, and they work really good in the late evening. This right here is my favorite color all around. It'll work all day, but it'll work all day. It works really good in the mornings. And this one right here is the one I use in the middle of the day. In the middle of the day, I don't think you can get no better than this one. And at night. At night, I fish this one too. This one or a black one. And what I'll do with a frog is I'll take it and I'll put a rattle on the inside of it. Just a jig rattle. Hear that? And that helps it sink down deeper in the water whenever it's floating. So it stirs up more water. And it's got a little more weight to it. And it rattles every time you twitch it. Now another thing I'll do is if I'm going to fish really deep, heavy stuff. Not deep, but really thick, heavy stuff is on top of the water, I'll leave the legs long like this one. And if I'm going to fish open water, I will cut legs off like this. See how those are shorter than this one? This right here walks a dog better because it's got less resistance on the tail. These things right here have resistance on the frog. This one right here, if you twitch it, it's going to like drag behind the frog like this, and it's just going to kind of chug up in the water like this. This one right here is going to walk the dog a little more. It's going to go left and right. And it's going to stay in the strike zone longer like this. Because this one's going to pull them straight out. Now, the one thing I'll tell you is where to fish the frogs. You fish the frogs all the normal place you'll think to fish a frog. But if you trim these legs like this, one of my favorite places to fish a frog is around seawalls and docks. And lots of people overlook them. They'll throw a soft plastic up there or something. Crankbait. But that's what makes them so good. Because nobody fishes... And everybody don't fish frogs around seawalls and stuff, but you will catch fish around seawalls. And if you keep a bright color frog, you'll catch more fish than if you fish this all day and you fish this all day. I'm gonna bet you'll catch more fish on the light color frog. Now I've got a senior frog and junior frogs. These are both white ones right here. Now I use the bigger ones for throwing in the heavier cover. Now if you throw this in the heavier cover, you can shoot it up in the cover because it's heavier, and you can it moves a little bit more noise. And lots of times you just get better bites because the fish just in the heavier cover are lots of times bigger in the summer because the bigger fish will stay deeper in the cover. I'm going to show you how I'll put a jig in the frog. I take the Spro frog and I turn it out, twist the hook around like this, take my little rattle and stick it up under the hook and insert it into the frog. You got to be kind of careful or you'll sometimes rip the frog on the bottom. And get that in there, and it's just, it helps it throw farther. And there's a little extra hook from a Spro frog that I ripped earlier, and a weight. Now don't try to take the weights out of a heavy frog and put it in a lighter frog. It's going to mess up the whole frog. I'll tell you something else about frogs, these runner frogs. The runner frogs, I use a 5/0 Stanley twist lock hook, and it's got a little twist on the end of it. That's a raised tail. They move a lot of water. But if I could have one type of frog, I'm going to use a rivet frog like this, and it's going to be a high floater. I don't have any high floaters in this pack. I've got some in this pack. You see that little red thing right there? It says high floater. That means that you can reel the frogs up and you can pause them and they won't sink. They'll float on top of the water. Like if anybody fishes a runner frog a lot, you know that when you're reeling a runner frog, you can see a fish come up behind it sometimes. And if you see that fish come up behind it, you can just pause that frog like this and the fish will keep swimming over it, and the fish will take it 99% of the time if you see a fish behind it. Now, pretty much everything about frogs. If you need to know a technique on frogs, comment me. I'll try to get you one on here. Thanks for watching. Comment me.